What's up, Coaster Demons? Today I will be ranking every B&M inverted coaster I have ever ridden. Now, just to let you know, I have only ridden 6 B&M inverts so far. I would have ridden 7, but Afterburn was closed on me when I went to Carowinds in 2018. I might be heading back to Carowinds in June this year, and I might finally be able to get that credit. It's basically confirmed that I'll be riding Raptor at Cedar Point and Banshee at Kings Island this year, since I'm going to both of those parks. I might also be riding, this is a very low chance, but I might also be riding Batman the Ride at Six Flags Over Georgia this year. So that would be 4 new B&M inverted roller coasters I've ridden. However, I want to just rank the 6 B&M inverted roller coasters I've ridden so far. So let's get into the list. Number 6 is the Chinese Fireball side of Dragon Challenge that was once at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. This ride was sadly removed in 2017 to make way for Hagrid's Motorbike Creatures Adventure. However, I was able to ride both sides of this ride, and this was an absolutely amazing coaster. The Chinese Fireball side was my least favorite side of it, but I still absolutely loved this coaster. It was very intense, very smooth, it was a whippy ride, and overall this was just a really fun coaster. Both sides of these were good, but if I had to rank both sides, the Chinese Fireball section was my least favorite side on it. But still, the Chinese Fireball side of Dragon Challenge was an absolutely amazing ride. It had so much whip, it was just intense, and it was overall just a really, really fun ride. Number 5 is the Hungarian Horse side of Dragon Challenge. It was my favorite side of this ride. Although the bottom of the drop, after you do it, you just do like this turnaround. And I do prefer the element after the drop on the Chinese Fireball side. Right after this element right here, you get thrown through the 0G roll, which is absolutely insane, especially if you're in the back row. Then you go through my favorite part of the ride, which is this absolutely insane Cobra roll. I love Cobra rolls, and this is easily one of my favorite Cobra rolls I've experienced. It's so whippy and so intense. The vertical loop on both sides, I forgot to say, were really fun. And this was just such a fun ride. Both sides of Dragon Challenge were so much fun, but the Hungarian Horse side was my favorite side of Dragon Challenge. Both of them were amazing, but the Hungarian Horse side takes the crown for the best section on Dragon Challenge for me. Number 4 is Great Bear at Hershey Park. Now, this used to be my least favorite B&M invert. I always found this ride to be really fun, but I also found it to be kind of boring at the same time. I felt like the ride didn't have that much whip, and I kind of went pretty slow through the layout. However, after my rides in 2020, I could say that this ride has definitely changed for me. Great Bear is an absolutely amazing B&M invert. It's so whippy in the back row. Every inversion whips you right through it. And that 0G roll and corkscrew are easily some of my favorite inversions I've ever experienced on a coaster. You get thrown through those inversions so fast. The pacing this year in 2020 was absolutely incredible. This is just such a fun ride, and I liked it way more in 2020 than I did back in the past before those years. Great Bear is an absolutely amazing coaster, and it's just such a fun ride, and Hershey Park should be happy to have this really, really fun invert. Okay, now we're in the top 3, and these are the best out of the best inverts I've ridden. I love every B&M invert I've ridden so far, but these top 3 are just my absolute favorites. Number 3 is Talon, the Grip of Fear at Dorney Park. And this ride is just awesome. In the back row, you get so much whip through these inversions. This ride also hauls, definitely. It literally feels so fast-paced throughout the whole ride. That helix literally makes your feet go numb, and it can also make you gray out if you're in the back row. Talon is just so much fun. The whole ride is just an adrenaline rush. Steel Force used to be my, originally in 2020, I had Steel Force ranked as my number 1 coaster at Dorney Park, but after a while of thinking about it, Talon is actually definitely my favorite coaster at this park. Talon is an absolutely insane ride, and Dorney Park should be very happy to have this great invert. This is easily one of the most underrated coasters I've ridden. Talon is just overall such a fun ride. It's just such a fun ride. It's so good. Literally, all the inversions are so much fun. The entire ride is just really good. Talon is just an absolutely amazing inverted coaster, and Dorney Park should be very happy to have this incredible invert. Number 2 is Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great Adventure. This is neck and neck with Talon for me, but I decided to choose Batman. Batman, through every inversion, no matter where you sit, is so whippy. You get thrown through every inversion on this ride. That turnaround or helix also is very forceful, as it makes your feet numb, definitely. Batman the Ride is just such a fun coaster. It's just It's an amazing ride. Batman clones are just so good. They pack in such a punch for it's not a long ride, but they pack in such a punch throughout the whole layout. It's just a great ride. The drop in the back row on this coaster is absolutely insane. You get whipped down that drop. It's just amazing. Batman the Ride is definitely one of the most underrated coasters I've ever ridden because people seem to hate on the ride. And I don't know why. People say they're rough sometimes. People say they're not as forceful. I just don't see why. This ride is extremely forceful. It's very intense. And it's just overall a great invert. And finally, number 1 is Alpengeist at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This ride is mental. The first half of this ride literally tries to kill you. From that first drop to those first inversions, you get thrown through all these inversions. The Cobra Roll is easily my favorite part of this ride, as it literally tries to kill you. It feels like you're getting smashed to the side of this train, and it's just such a forceful element. Alpengeist is just such a good ride. I don't know why people call this ride rough. It's literally glossy smooth in every single row you sit in. Yes, the trim brake does kind of kill it, but the second half is also a lot of fun as you get some really good hang time on the final 2 inversions. Alpengeist is easily one of the most intense coasters I've ever ridden. This ride is just packs such a good punch throughout the whole layout. It makes your feet numb at some moments. It's just such a good ride. It makes you gray out at some moments. It's just such a fun ride. It's so intense, so smooth. The inversions are great. Has some of my favorite inversions on any coaster I've ridden easily. The Cobra Roll is probably my favorite Cobra Roll I've ever experienced on any coaster I've ridden. The vertical loop is probably one of my favorite vertical loops as well. Alpengeist just never loses its speed until that trim brake. Like, the pacing is on top. It is so good. Alpengeist is just an outstanding B&M invert that everyone needs to check out someday. So yeah, those are how I rank all the B&M inverted coasters I've ridden so far. Make sure to like this video, also subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Keep coasting up, my coaster demons. Peace out.